I think that feels like a nice package there.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those phones light up. It's Felger and Mazz on 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Shams, go.
Greeny, sources tell me a trade and a resolution is coming for the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo before the NBA draft on Tuesday night. The Bucks are in serious conversations with two finalists, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Both teams are Giannis's preferred trade destinations, but both of these packages are different deals. The variance of these deals is dramatic. With Boston, it's Jaylen Brown-led package. It's around a veteran player, obviously a superstar caliber player. In Miami, it's a group of cost-controlled players, rookie-scale contracts, significant draft capital in that deal. And so I do want to make this clear, though. Whichever deal occurs, whether it's today or tomorrow, it is going to be a one-to-one deal. It's going to consist of Milwaukee and likely one of these two teams, and that's how it's going to be. There's no third team, fourth team in any construct right now.
All right, well, it's gotten real now as we bring you into Felger and Mazz here on a Monday, June the 22nd. Monday means it's a re-entry Monday, everything from the weekend, but the latest Giannis Boston reporting is certainly front and center. Re-entry Mondays are brought to you by Blue Bear. When it comes to plumbing, heating, and air, no one compares to Blue Bear. When you call Blue Bear, you can expect expert service from their friendly staff for all your heating and plumbing services. For more information or to book your appointment today, visit BlueBearPlumbing.com. Mazz, alongside here from our Town Fair Tire Studios. Hi, Anthony. How you doing?
Good, you?
So that's Shams Charania. I remember asking last week, where's Shams been? Where has he been? His reporting on this was very light, if even that is an exaggeration. He hadn't really weighed in.
No, virtually non-existent.
And I hadn't even seen him on TV. It's like he had last week off or something, which was just weird. But anyway, he returns, if you will, and immediately, I think, gives this a whole lot more weight. Obviously, with the Celtics, they were linked with Giannis and Jaylen Brown. There was linkage here for a while. But when, I just consider Shams Charania, gold standard kind of stuff.
Sure.
Schefter, Glazer, if someone like that starts reporting stuff like this, I think you can kind of take it to the bank. I mean, that's how I treat it. Take it to the bank kind of reporting. And so take it to the bank. And I'm stunned, Mazz. I am stunned. I'm stunned on two levels that the reporting has been so adamant on two things. One, that the Celtics have put Jaylen Brown in the offer for Giannis, straight up, 1-to-1. That surprises me because I think it's such a mistake. And two, that Giannis would sign an extension here. And that's part of the deal. He signs an extension with the Celtics, which is massive money. For a ticking time bomb, age and injury. And so those two things stun me. Like I said all last week, I just do not see the Celtics trading Brown straight up for Giannis or extending Giannis at this stage of his career. And if those two things are on the table, color me wrong, stunned. I can't believe we're here. Your thoughts?
I think Brown's gone, and I'm not as stunned as you are because I think there's just been too much smoke over the years with this thing, always popping up and rumors about what's going on behind the scenes. And I think the Celtics have decided one of two things. Either internally, Brown and Tatum aren't tenable, and I don't necessarily think it's that because I think Tatum generally is agreeable and will find a way to get along with just about anybody, or the Celtics have decided they can't win together. And that they're not good enough unless they have some sort of big man complimenting one of them, and they're going to break it up. The one thing I'm sure of, I say I'm sure of, the one thing I feel with relative certainty right now, Brown's gone. He's gone.
Well, Mazz, and this, I think, is also what I've come around to today as well. And again, a lot of times I handicap the reporting of it, who's reporting it and how it sounds. And I think previously, remember last week we said it was like there were two camps of reporters. Half, and they all well-sourced big-time guys. Half the guys said, no, Brown for Giannis, no. And they're not going to shop Brown, no. And the other half said, yeah, Giannis and Brown, that's a real thing. And if they don't get Giannis, Brown's still on the table. Well, some of the guys that were in that previous camp have come over to the other camp. Like, for example, Windhorst. Windhorst today has been going on about whoever comes up short, Miami or Boston, for Giannis, what do they do next? Because my word's not his. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. And so you look for Boston to move from Brown for something else if they don't land Giannis. And he wasn't in that camp last week. So they've come around. That side of it's come around. And it would feel at this stage to go back to Jaylen Brown after today. And again, I think up until this weekend, you might have had some cover in terms of fake news. Well, that's not what we were doing. That was just some reporters, there's just some guys taking license and some guys running with bad info. We never had Jaylen Brown on the block. We never had Jaylen Brown free. We were never going to do that. Now that pretty much the entire NBA community is reporting it, I think they've lost their cover. So how would Jaylen Brown at this stage, Mazz, come back?
I can't imagine that he would. Again, I think if you're asking me, looking at the whole thing, I think the Celtics basically have a couple of things lined up. One is Milwaukee and Plan B, whatever Plan B is. And if Milwaukee picks Boston, then Brown's going there. And if they don't, Brown's going somewhere else. I think they got 2 deals in the hopper, and they're just ready to press the button depending on what the Bucks decide. And for all we know, the Bucks have already decided, and we just don't know it yet.
I can't believe the Celtics would do this. I really can't. As a Bucks fan, I'm thrilled. It's a great return. Brown and pieces? It's Brown and pieces is what I just heard Windhorst say a little bit ago. So whether that's the 27th pick or one of your young guys, I don't know what that means, Shireman or Gonzalez or...
Seems to be Gonzalez. There's a lot of online buzz for Hugo Gonzalez.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thrilled with that return as a Bucks fan. I can't believe you do it. Jimmy Stewart, what do you believe at this hour?
I think Giannis is coming to the Celtics.
Why?
Because Jaylen Brown's part of the deal. I think the NBA would be best served to help a Tatum-Giannis combination and have that be in Boston. I think Milwaukee getting Jaylen Brown keeps a superstar in Milwaukee. It gives the NBA a star in a city. And I just think all the reporting is pointing towards Giannis is coming to Boston. It's just best for the league if Giannis and Tatum are together and they go forward. And I felt for a long time that there are people with the Celtics who have wanted Giannis, and those people are going to get their wish. And let's see how it looks like, because I don't think it'll be as good as what you had with Tatum and Brown.
What do you think some of the holdups are that people aren't talking about? You just mentioned me in the hall.
So I think that there might be a secondary deal, whether it's Miles Turner or Kuzma, and that would go into one of the Celtics trade exceptions. So the deal might look like Brown and a first-round pick for Giannis, and then there's a secondary deal of Kuzma to the Celtics for a first-round pick that goes into a trade exception that the Celtics have.
So the Bucks are going to want you to take on some of their bad money.
Yes.
Stunning. I can't believe you do this. Your thought, Mazz?
So I'm not shocked, as like I said to you. I have concerns about Giannis too. Let's just say Giannis is healthy. He's a better fit for Tatum than Brown is.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Oh, I do. I mean, again, you don't have a big guy. And so if you can get an athletic big guy that can affect both ends of the floor and again, this is assuming Giannis is healthy, which I am not assuming. I'm just making that part clear. I'm not assuming that Giannis is healthy. I think that's the biggest risk in the deal.
I say this acknowledging that it's not like Brown and Tatum play well together either. They don't really play off each other or play together on the floor. Like, that's not... They've been a good fit on the roster, but on the floor, they don't play off each other. That's the backdrop to what I'm about to say. I've never seen Giannis play well with anyone other than maybe Chris Middleton, who is like a clearly defined second off piece. You know what I mean?
Sure, of course.
So I don't see... I don't think Giannis is going to play well with anyone. It's not a Tatum thing. It's an anyone thing. He's just two-ball dominant. And so I don't know how that's going to work. Yes, Stu.
I was going to ask you, as somebody who watches the Bucks games, how is Giannis as a rim runner? Like,
he's good.
Is there a potential where Tatum is just lobbing it up to Giannis for more dunks, which is what Brad Stevens wants?
Oh, he'll do that. He's great. But he wants to be a point forward, Giannis does. He wants to be LeBron or Durant out there.
He's going to have to change.
Wants to bring it into the front court. Wants to trigger the offense. And he'll pass. He likes passing because he likes triple-doubles. Not necessarily he likes the act of passing. He likes the triple-double because he wants MVPs. So he'll bring it. He'll do what drives us nuts with Tatum. He'll bring it up into the front court and be his own point guard. You're so stupid. So I'm just dubious about how that would work. What are your thoughts, Big Jim?
I'm just surprised that you're so surprised about this. Like, the Giannis part I get, because you've watched him, the Giannis part coming here. Like, Brown being gone, like, I've had this in my mind for a couple of months. Pretty much ever since he started squawking after this terrible postseason, wrapped up as they blew a 3-1 lead to the 76ers. Oh, my favorite season, all this, please. He wants out. I am convinced he has gone to them and said, I don't know whether it's me to Milwaukee, me to Portland, whatever. I'm done here. You figure it out.
I don't believe that.
I do wonder, though, if in the last week, and this is just going by all the reporting that's out there, that now all of a sudden Jaylen Brown is in the trade to Milwaukee when previously he seemingly was not. I wonder if Jaylen within the last week asked for a trade out.
Maybe.
I mean, I look, again, I always think there's a lag. So, if 2 weeks ago he might not have been in it, maybe that's just the way they were negotiating. Let's see if we can get him without giving up Brown, and then we'll hold out Brown till the very end, and we'll drop him in the deal at that point. There's a million possibilities, but this stuff with Brown has been going on forever. And now it feels like it intensified to another level. So to me, I feel like tomorrow at, 8 o'clock, gone. These are his last 24 hours or 30 hours as a member of the Celtics. He's out of here, whether it's he wants out, they want him gone, some combination of the two. Bye-bye, it's over.
He's a prickly personality, right? What's the word that you use? Exhausting?
He's exhausting.
So, but still, if you put yourself in his shoes, and now yet again, my name's being kicked around in yet another trade. Years ago it was Kawhi. In 2022 it was maybe to Brooklyn for Durant. And now it's this. After I just had what I said, guys, was my favorite season. I was in the MVP conversation. I'm done here. You figure it out. I want out.
I thought it would be just the opposite. He'd be in all these rumors. At the end of the day, this Heat would get stupid, overpay for Giannis, give him the big contract. The Celtics would come back with Tatum and Brown and say, you idiots thought we were going to trade Jaylen Brown? You idiots keep reading into Jaylen Brown and his stream? You idiots. And all the, baby green teamers and fans and green team baby media would be, how do you get fake news? Like, I just thought that was coming. I can't believe that they would give up, is Brown 2 or 3 years younger than Giannis?
He's 29. Giannis is 31.
2 years, health, and that money. I can't believe they would get 2 years older, get 2 years less healthy. I don't know how else to put that.
Yeah, right.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
That they would get 2 years older, assume that much injury risk, and give Giannis 4 at, what is it, 275, 300?
Call it 280, yeah.
No, I know. No. I can't. If Shams is saying it, then I have to believe it.
It's a big risk.
But I can't believe it. That doesn't sound like you. That doesn't sound like the Celtics. No. I would say, well, we're better than that.
So maybe that tells us how untenable it had become.
Let's someone else stupid do something like that.
Yeah.
We're not that team. I can't believe that's you.
Or maybe it's this new owner finally wanting to put his first real stamp on the organization, right? I mean, you say, and I'm with you, this doesn't feel like them, but it's a new them. It's a new owner. Maybe this is
I can't believe
Dollar Bill Chisholm's first big swing here.
I can't believe the number of Celtics fans that would go along with it.
Well, they'll go along with anything.
So that sort of proves that. Because I just think, I mean, in mass, Celtics fans have been extremely defensive of Tatum, Brown. This works. Great duo. You're just making it up. You're just making it. No. And now it's like, yeah, trade him for Giannis and extend Giannis. 2 years older, massive injury risk, and 4-year now you're okay with that?
Jaylen Brown's annoying on the Twitch stream. Oh, get rid of him now. He's obnoxious. He's not. He's going on the record with his feelings. Don't we want that? Don't we want transparency? I guess not. But hey, bring in the child Giannis. Jaylen Brown called Giannis a child years ago, so let's bring him in. Let's see how that works out, which is great content for the show, but that's a side topic.
No, it's a sexy, awesome trade for us. It's great.
Oh, it's a freaking blockbuster. It's awesome.
Tatum Giannis is box office as a team. I mean, that's much must-watch stuff. It's great. It's great for business. I'm not... This shows you it's just not about the show. I mean, and listen, I don't have a dog in the fight. As a Bucks fan, I'm thrilled with it. You want to send us Brown, Gonzalez, and a first-round pick, and you get to take on Giannis and Evan Turner and that money? Yesterday, why haven't the Bucks already said yes? If that's the deal, why haven't they already said yes?
Good question. Yeah, good question. Maybe they have, and we just don't know it yet. Or they are using it to leverage Miami to get Bam Adebayo. I have no idea. I'd be shocked though if Miami
It's
gets
all
Adebayo.
embargoed. It's all embargoed. It's a grander conspiracy theory,
for the
Jaylen
draft
Brown.
night? For draft night?
Yeah, they're just going to wait until 8:30 on draft night because it's already predetermined see Jaylen Brown.
That part I do believe.
Okay, maybe. And this is why Shams knew he could take last week off, because
it's in the bag. We'll wait till the last minute. When
this
we know
is
what's
all,
happening.
listen, this is the the NBA.
Oh, this theory I like.
And we're just going to choreograph it for draft week. And so Shams, there's nothing's going to happen. You can show up Monday morning and start dropping some bombs.
Love it.
And he shows up Monday morning and starts dropping some bombs. I'm telling you, at the end of last week, I'm like, where's effing Shams? Something stinks.
Nothing's going to happen before the draft, so Shams went to some island with his family.
Well, I was going to say, he got married, Felger. He had a baby. Shams is the kind of guy that is tweeting from the delivery room, bless his heart, and is not taking a honeymoon NBA. So he was off last week, or wasn't on the story. I'm like, what? This doesn't, what? And sure enough, Monday morning draft week, here we go. And I can't believe the Celtics are going to do it.
This sucks.
Well, what do you think, folks? Does it suck? Your thoughts right after these words. Sean and Lawrence. Go, Sean.
You keep saying, I didn't actually watch the game, whether it's Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, whatever. Isn't your job as a talk show host to actually watch sports?
So I would say my job is to get you to listen.
That is the job.
Mission accomplished.
Take this job and shove. Felger and Mazz. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
I think the most important thing that I can take away from this is Boston has decided that they are not good enough. They decided that they did not lose in the first round because Jason Tatum got hurt. They decided they lost in the first round because they were not good enough. They were not good enough to beat New York in the second round. They were not good enough to get back to the finals. They are going to make a move. And if they don't get Giannis Antetokounmpo in the next 24 hours, I would look for Jaylen Brown possibly to go somewhere else. And I would also say that about Miami. There are other teams who are interested in what Miami has made available. And if Miami doesn't get it, I would look for them possibly to move on to another deal in the following days.
Those are two other things one other thing I disagree with, and another thing I'm stunned by. One, they're not good enough to beat the Knicks with the current roster. I disagree. They're not good enough to beat the Knicks with the way that they play, with that dopey-ass style, and the coach and all of that puts them at a great disadvantage. But they have the talent to beat the Knicks. They just need to play differently, be tougher, and not gag. So I think that's a mistake. I think they, with Brown, Tatum, absolutely have the talent to beat the Knicks. I think they're wrong if they've made that assessment. They're not looking at the right things, which is their coach and how they play. Two, if the Giannis thing blows up, they're going to move on with Brown either way.
I mean, that to me, that's the one that caught my attention more than anything else. Because that, to me, tells you they've decided it's over with Jaylen Brown. I mean, to me, that's what that is, plain and simple. He's going either way. He's either going for Giannis or he's going for someone else. They've decided we're done with Jaylen Brown.
Phones. Carl in New Jersey. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call. I actually think the Celtics should be looking to trade Tatum, not Brown, for three reasons. The first one being Jaylen Brown carried
Hey, Carl?
this sorry-ass roster.
Carl,
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that's your opinion. I know others share it. You understand that's not what's happening, so it's kind of a waste to even go there?
No, yeah, I guess. Okay, so real quickly, main reason being Tatum wants to play Missoula ball, Brown doesn't, and I know that's a big pet peeve of yours.
Yeah, definitely, Carl. And I agree with you. Like, in a lot, I think Tatum's better, so it's kind of foolish in the NBA to move on from a more talented player. But I like the way Brown plays better. I'd be kind of bothered that the Celtics are doubling down on kind of the Tatum cabal. Like, Shams said in one of these conversations today that, as far as he knows, Derek White is not involved in any of this.
Yeah.
I know there was a separate rumor out there this weekend.
Minnesota, right?
Yeah, Derek White and Gobert. But for now, it feels like Missoula, Tatum, Derek White, stay, and that's what's staying, and Jaylen Brown's out the door. Who I'll take Jaylen Brown's game over those three any day of the week, fully admitting he's not as talented as Tatum, but you know what I mean?
Of course.
So I'm with Carl. Acceptance is the price of freedom at this point. They're not trading Tatum.
But is Giannis suited for Missoula ball?
Oh, no way.
Not even close.
No, sir.
I mean, and I say worse than Brown, but you know what I mean. Stylistically, he's got to play inside the line.
Definitely.
So again, part of me wonders whether they're leveraging Missoula. They say, okay, we need to get better at the rim. We're going to give you a guy who can only play around the rim on both ends. And if you put him out at the perimeter, it's your ass next. I don't know. I mean, I'm extrapolating there, but you can't play Giannis out at the three-point line. You just can't.
Oh, watch them.
No, I mean, he'll stay out there. He won't shoot. Mike in the car. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, guys. You guys have been complaining, and most fans have been complaining about Jaylen Brown just being a complete pain in the ass for years now. The thing about this trade is, if it goes through, Giannis, Celtics fans and most basketball fans have been complaining that the Celtics, nobody drives to the basket. Nobody drives to the basket better than Giannis. This kid, if he wants to score a basket, he can score. Nobody can stop him. You put him and Tatum together with the inside-outside game, this team's going to be unstoppable.
Okay,
End of
Mike.
story.
Well, it'll be interesting. And yes, we've complained a lot about Jaylen Brown. I never said trade him. I never said trade him for Giannis. Just because you complain about it doesn't mean, no, I'm done with him. No, if he, I thought this stuff after this last run was really sounded selfish and tone deaf and not what a leader should be saying and frankly should be beneath him. So, yeah, we hammered him for it. I never said trade him for a 31-year-old guy whose calf is about to explode.
I know, so that scares me too. I mean, again, I sound like I'm passing judgment on it. I don't think you're wrong to feel that way because I feel that way. But you know what? The more I think about it, I don't think that's the only thing that's going to happen. I don't know what the rest of it is, but they'll do more. I don't think it's going to be just adding Giannis to what they've got, independent of what goes out with Brown. It feels to me like there's going to be more.
Andrew in Weymouth. Hi, Andrew.
Listen, guys, this is insane, first of all. I can't believe this is happening, Felger. I'm surprised as you are. I didn't think this was a legit offer that Jaylen Brown was going to get put on the table for real. And we do have to trust Shams because, like you said, he's the top guy. His word is pretty much gospel.
Yep.
Now, with Mazz, I mean, he's definitely gone. Jaylen Brown is gone regardless. There's definitely a backup offer in place, in my opinion. And, Felger, this is where you're wrong because your concerns are his knee, right, Giannis?
Oh, no. Well, yeah, I mean, there's that, but
yeah,
Andrew, shush. It's a bad risk from a business standpoint. My number one thing is I think Brown's a better player. And when I say that, I mean I'd rather have him. I think Giannis is completely overrated. And I've never really seen him play well with another player, unless you want to consider Chris Middleton, who's, really like a kind of an old school throwback two-guard kind of thing. But no, my first thing, Andrew, would be play style of Giannis. And I think he's overrated. Okay. That would be my number one thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can I just do one more thing?
Yeah.
I am absolutely done with Jaylen Brown, and I will tell you all why. A lot of people are going to agree with me on this. The whole Twitch stream thing, that's stupid. But the one thing he said, this was his favorite year? We won the championship 2 years ago, and you were the finals MVP. All that tells me is that you want to be Batman more than you want to actually win. And one more thing before I go. The Heat offer, is this something we should be concerned about? I don't think they have a real package.
Well, unless they want to put Adebayo in it.
Right. If it's Adebayo, it changes. Hero's just not on the same level as Brown.
Okay, so you don't like that Jaylen Brown said this was his favorite year, but you're okay with Giannis saying, whenever this was, a couple of years ago, there's no winning and losing at all. It's just on the road to what? I don't even remember what he said, but it was along those lines. And you're okay with your dopey coach after losing in the first round, gagging, him saying things like, well, I feel the same as when I felt when I win. It's just the duality of life, man. Like, you're okay with that? I mean, make that all make sense to me then, because it all feels wrong. So, I think you're just sort of picking your poison on that one.
Well, look, you're going to get a lot of people now saying good riddance Brown because he's gone. They wouldn't have said it when he was here, but now that he's gone, they'll celebrate it. If Giannis's leg explodes 6 weeks in the way Gordon Hayward's did, albeit with a different injury, believe me, they'll all come out of the woodwork saying it was the stupidest deal ever.
Mike in Medway. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Genuinely shocked that this is about to happen. feel like we're about to experience Kyrie 2.0 all over again within the next 3 years. I feel like nobody's really talking about the fact of the giant what if with Tatum and what that leaves with Giannis to lead the team. He's been known to be a diva in the past, and when times get tough, he's usually the first dude to bail out. And that's kind of my biggest worry, where Jaylen is the guy that will take everything on himself and get it done. But
well, let me just stop you there. Your thoughts on that, Mazz?
I'm not as worried about Giannis fitting in as you are, and I'll tell you why. Because when it was in Milwaukee with Lillard, Lillard was the outside guy coming in. It was Giannis's team, and Lillard had to adapt. In this scenario, it's established that it's Tatum's team if Brown's out the door. So I would hope, and I can't guarantee this, but I would hope they've had this discussion. If you want to come here, you're going to play down low. We want you here, but this is how it's got to be. I mean, if they've already agreed that they're willing to give him a contract extension, I would like to think they've talked about how they're going to play.
Yes, sir.
So I think it's him. I think he's putting a little bit of his ego in his pocket to come here because he wants out of Milwaukee more than anything else, and that means he's got to make a sacrifice.
Your calls and what's crawled up Mazz's backside next here on a Reentry Monday. Right here is the very latest Giannis to the Celtics with Big Jim Murray right here.
Felger,
Shush.
Mazz, the Sports Hub.
And it's wire to wire for Wyndham. Let's go, go! And a second U.S. Open championship.
Golf play-by-play is what it is, but that's to get us into what's crawling up Mazz's backside. What's crawling up Mazz's tuchus is brought to you by North Shore Adult Diapers. In all seriousness, people shouldn't be afraid to get the help they need. And for many, store brands don't get the job done. So switch to the MVP of adult diapers, North Shore. For even the heaviest control problems, visit NorthShore.com today and focus on life, not leaks. So what has specifically gone up your backside, Mazz? Is it Wyndham Clark? Is it the U.S. Open? Is it a choking, boring-ass field? What has crawled up your backside on the weekend there?
Okay, so generally speaking, let me just get this out in front as my disclaimer. As far as U.S. Opens go, this one was actually palatable. Palatable. But the tournament blows. And if you were to ask me to rank the majors 1 to 4, I've said this a million times and my mind has not changed. Masters 1A, British Open 1B, U.S. Open 3, PGA 4. So congratulations, you're a better tournament than the Suckbag PGA Championship. And here's what I don't like about the US Open. It's not about winning the tournament. It's about not losing it. Just don't suck as much as everyone else sucks and you'll win. And I'll actually give this clown a little bit of credit, Wyndham Clark.
Oh, it sounds like it, yeah.
He made, I mean, really, I can't tell you how many par putts he made over and over and over again. It was unbelievable.
I watched a ton of it. The last 2 days was basically watching Wyndham Clark grind out pars.
Absolutely. It was getting up and down over and over and over again and having to make 15-footers. And he made a lot of them. So, like, I tip my hat to him in that way because I understand how hard it plays. I'm not naive about that. But I just like a tournament to be won rather than not lost. And so the U.S. Open in that way grinds on me. Now, I will add, as a parenthetical, did you know this whole thing about Oakmont last year and all his behavior? Did you read all this
He
stuff?
smashed a locker, right?
I've read up on it. A 120-year-old locker stall, or like it was one of these like antique, beautiful, old school locker rooms or locker stall, and he kicked it in.
Yeah. Had to pay for it.
Yep.
And had to go to anger management.
Yes. And he was getting his ass booed all weekend.
Yeah.
So I like this storyline. Like the fact that the crowd was rooting against him. I'm behind him.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind seeing it. That takes balls. And so this part of the story, I like. And look, I understand the anger management thing. Like, okay, he lost his marbles. He didn't hit a person. He just beat up a locker. Like, to me, there's a little bit of a difference there. He lost his marbles. Like, he got really frustrated. but it feels like a little bit of an overreaction, just my 2 cents.
Well, it's not a high school locker, like Mike said.
Okay,
it was
a
historical venue that you trashed. You got to be a real gaping a-hole to do that.
And apparently he is.
Yeah. No, this part I like, too. And, of course, a lot of people like, this crowd's too hostile. They should lay off. No, they shouldn't. They should amp it up. That part was fun.
Well, what was I just going to say? I don't know why. Why are they so pro Scheffler? Oh, he's from Jersey, I guess. Is that it?
I think it was just, he's become like the darling player in the world because he's the number 1 career Grand Slam he was going for.
How do you feel about the career Grand Slam?
Oh, who gives a
It's
rat's
such a
ass?
new thing. Do you understand, kids? You used to win the Grand Slam all in 1 year. There was no career Grand Slam. That's a new thing for you because you kids think everyone gets a medal for everything. So now the Grand Slam is if you win 4 in your life. It didn't used to be that way. It was all in 1 year, Grand Slam. Who did it in tennis? It's rarely been done.
Yeah, and McIlroy did it last year on tour.
Career.
Yeah, he did. No, the career Grand Slam. That's what I mean. Not you're talking about the single Grand Slam within a season.
That's what the Grand Slam is.
That's the real one. Yes.
Doing it all in 1 year. The career Grand Slam. No, growing up, I never heard about the career Grand Slam.
No, me neither.
It's just been created because no one can do it anymore. Because as this is my core thing with golf, they're all a bunch of pusses who don't know how to win. Unlike back in Nicklaus's day, where he had to go up against and battle every week, Gary Player, Tom Watson, you name it, and beat those guys out. Never mind Palmer when he first started, or Trevino, or whatever the case may be. It was guys who knew how to win going at each other every week. Now these freaking ninnies win a couple, marry some hot chick, make $100 million, put it in the bank, and they never win again. I never see him again. Jordan Spieth. So on and on. So, this is like my core golf thing. I'm disappointed. I don't like the lack of nerve with the field. And so I think golf really lacks that you lack guys who Tiger had it for sure. Tiger Woods had it. But then again, he never came back and won a championship. He was always front running. And so Scheffler, by the way. I don't think Scheffler's ever won a major where he wasn't in the final group.
Correct.
I think they said that yesterday. Mm-hmm. And he was in the final group yesterday. He was 6 behind, but he was in the final group. So back in the day when the guys actually had balls, they'd come from behind, they'd come from the pack, they'd come from the second or third pairing. Like, you didn't have to be ahead in the final group hanging on for dear life to win a major. There's just far more gusto. It sounds silly, but it is. And if you weren't old enough to have experienced it, then you take my word for it or don't. Just continue to be wrong. But this is all my rant about the modern golfer. So this is all a long way of saying I've been invested because I've been rooting against Scheffler for no other reason than my take. That's all I'm doing. He didn't seem like a bad guy. And I think he's a brilliant golfer. And maybe the reason I'm so invested in it is because I think he is kind of different. And if there is one guy that would break this mold from the rest of these ninnies, it could be Scheffler, because I think he is kind of different.
Is he doing the Texas two-step on every swing off the tee?
Well, just
freaking feet are moving all
with his
over
footwork,
the place.
But he's just sort of different. But still, he's stuck at 4. And I've got to hear now how it's Scotty Scheffler's world, and since I've been hearing that, he just sort of been sniffing it, hasn't won anything. Just like Jordan Spieth, just like Koepka, just like DeChambeau, just like Duval, you name it. Any of these guys, you've told me who's next. They get to 3, 4, they get right in there, and then that's it. Because you know why? The modern golfer, the modern man, the modern human has teeny tiny little testes.
Correct.
No balls. And if anyone does, it is Scheffler. So he kind of scares me on my take. Like, he could be the guy. But still, I like the tournament, Mazz, because it is different. It is. I don't mind a guy grinding out pars. It's just not something that I'm used to. One more thing on Wyndham Clark. Is he disliked for did you hear the dialogue with his caddy the whole round? Did you pay attention to this?
I caught a little of it, like the positive reinforcement thoughts.
It's like so. It's is ubiquitous the word. It's so glaring. Does he allow himself to be mic'd? Did you notice this too? Like there's this conversation with his caddy before every shot, and on a lot of them, you know what his caddy finished the conversation with? Okay, trust the process.
Right.
Or something like
trust the process.
Trust the process. I'm like, oh my God, brother. Like you corny, like this new wave gobbledygook, this drivel.
No, it was a lot of mumbo jumbo.
So, but like they really talk through every shot and the mic's on them and they're allowing themselves to be mic'd. Does every player go through every conversation like that with his caddy and we just don't hear it? Or is it this guy?
No, I think it's this guy. I think players are different in that way. There was the one putt, I don't know if you remember this, late in the round yesterday, where Clark didn't consult the caddy and just lined it up and said, like, I got this one on my own.
Yeah.
There was one late. Maybe it was the middle of the back
Well, I mean, he drained the one on 16 that really...
It was a little before that.
Yeah.
It was somewhere halfway through the back nine, somewhere in there. But I don't think they're all like that, because I think there are some guys that just have balls.
It's kind of insufferable. I can see why people be bugged by Wyndham Clark. Just listening to him and his caddy. If I were them, I'd say, like, get the mic away from it. We sound this is too goofy sounding. You know, it's just too annoying. It's so
definitely.
There's something about it. It's like, oh, God, I don't want to hear that. But anyway, there are your golf thoughts, and that is what has gone up Mazz's backside. Golf, again, brought to you by North Shore Adult Diapers. Visit northshore.com today and focus on life, not leaks. Back to your phones on everything right after these words.
Mike and Tony have a definite chemistry.
Are they? 100%.
Are they?
Yes, 100. Do I stutter?
Do you consider them the periodic table of sports talk?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry. We need to blow a gasket.
No. Blow it, baby. Blow it.
Felger and Mazz.
With the Giannis thing, my feeling has not changed for a week. I think they know what Miami's offer is. It can only be so far. They're not putting Bam in it. So at that point, it's pretty easy to figure out everything that's in it. And they're just waiting on Boston to see if Boston is going to top the offer. Or maybe they're trying to get them to add stuff to the offer that already happened. I still think I would still bet on Boston. And as we talked about last week, I'm still conflicted about that. I don't feel great about the Giannis trade.
Bill Simmons' commentary there?
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't necessarily want to say that he's pushing for it, but he's certainly open to it, keeps talking about it, feels like he's obviously plugged in with someone on the team, and it does feel to me there is some rooting interest, though, in getting Giannis here, because he has also said, talking about Giannis, if he went to Miami, you're getting a guy that hasn't made the conference finals in 5 years, who's had trouble staying healthy, you're banking that he's going to change your playoff destiny, the more you put into the trade, the less likely that goes, you have Giannis and Bam and Norman Powell, you're just doing the Miami zombie thing. He said, well, okay, well, which is it, though? Do you want this to happen? Because if it happens here, I don't expect to hear the same thing about Giannis, that he's old and kind of broken down and worried about the injury. I just think it's going to be the Bill Simmons thing where it's like pom-poms, yay, Giannis, wee, once he becomes a Celtic. So it does feel a little bit of like fence riding to me. I mean, he's not fully in, but I understand that because he is, Mr. Celtic, you do have to kind of support it, too, because it does feel likely it's going to happen. And you can't, on the one hand, say, well, if you go to Miami, it's like a group of old guys. Nothing's going to happen there. And then he comes here, and again, it's like, which is it?
It's risky. I mean, it is a big risky move. Like, part of me would look at the Celtics and say, I didn't think you'd do something so, dangerous, because that's what this move is. It's a dangerous move. If he stays healthy, I think they're a little more balanced. Maybe a lot more balanced than what they were if it was just Brown and Tatum. But his health scares the crap out of me.
I'm not as concerned about the health as I am the diva stuff. Like, I mean, any guy that's going to be over their 30s in that league at that size, I mean, anything, any kind of torquish type of injury could go wrong for you. Even if you're younger and healthy, case in point, Jason Tatum. It's the making the plane wait 2.5 hours. It's that kind of thing. Is that going to change once he gets here? What's the dynamic going to be in terms of his diva attitude and Jason Tatum, who's kind of passive? Those are bigger questions for me if they're going to pull this deal off.
I just think Brown's, I put this in air quotes. I just think Brown's better. And I know that Giannis puts up better numbers, is going to rate better and higher WAR and Raptor and MVP votes and all of this. I don't know. I saw Jaylen Brown lead a team this year that was second or third in the East. Since the Bucks won their championship, they haven't gotten out of the second round. They've been a play-in team the last couple of years with Giannis leading the way. I just think Brown would affect winning better. I'd rather have Brown than Giannis before I even get to the health and that contract. I can't believe the Celtics would do it. I can't believe they're doing it. It stuns me. How about you? Back to your calls. Stephen Methuen. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. First of all, I love Brown, but the two things that everybody's always critical about the Celtics is rebounding and the too many three-point shots going up. Giannis is elite at the total opposite when it comes to three-point. He can get a bucket anytime he wants to get in the paint, and he's an elite rebounder. And you put that with Tatum, that's going to be a dangerous combination. At the end of the day, my thing is everybody disrespects Brown all the time. And then when Brown's about to be traded, everybody, you can't have it both ways. Giannis will definitely help his team. I love Brown, but I think that it's, come and gone.
Listen, Steve, that paper analysis of Giannis makes perfect sense. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've seen it in action. It didn't. They were saying the same thing when they got Lillard. Perfect match.
I thought it was.
Giannis is inside. He's outside. They play off each other. The high pick and roll is like perfect. It never worked for like one day. Not one day. It didn't look right from the second he got there. And it never got past, all right, well, let's change it up. Let's give him another big guy. Let's give him Miles Turner and sort of would change him. That didn't work. So the analysis that you're giving me of Giannis is just sort of on paper. I haven't seen it on the floor for a long time. Sorry. And that mix with, I keep saying Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, which is a big piece there too.
Definitely, as far as professionalism goes.
Yes. And that was, their championship team was really well complemented, where Lopez played as a true center, and so Giannis didn't have to do any of that dirty work. And Chris Middleton was a really, really unassuming number 2 guy, both on the floor and off. Just sort of a perfect guy just a spot-up shooter. And Drew Holiday was there to calm everything. And that all kind of worked, but it just worked once. And when it was just Giannis and someone else without all that support, they sucked. When Tatum went down, it was just Brown here. You were pretty good. So I just think you're getting worse with this trade. I'm stunned you're doing it. I'll stick with that.
Maybe he just needs to get out of Milwaukee.
Giannis, yeah. So look, man.
And I don't mean the city. You know what I mean?
No.
Like
he
the organization.
Needs to change the scenery.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Maybe he just needs to go somewhere where he's going to be held accountable again. Because it got to be too much about him there. And maybe, I'll allow, because I think if he's healthy and he's engaged, I allow for all the stuff you're saying. But if he plays his game and he's willing to, be part of a team, he and Tatum could be awesome. I mean, they cover a lot of areas.
Okay, we continue with your thoughts. The latest on this blockbuster with Big Jim Murray here in our update. There are no commercials. It takes just 90 quick seconds, and we're right back.